The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. The first page of the book, we made a tree. It reads, "Once there was a tree." The page is blank, except for the tree. The tree looks somewhat cartoonish, but it also appears welcoming. On the next page, we learn something very important to this story. And the tree loved a little boy. The tree loved the little boy. Growing up, I always read this story, centered on that idea. That the tree loved the little boy, and that it was an important story to show what love could look like. But it wasn't until I started looking at the story, the eco-critical view, that I realized the complicated history this story has had. In A Giving Tree, a modern parable of mutual responsibility, the author writes this: "For 50 years, The Giving Tree, a short illustrated tale, revered by adults and loved by children, has provoked outrage and acclaim in equal measure. Some readers disliked the story so much they wrote an alternative ending, while others celebrated it as a modern-day parable. Described by its author, Shel Silverstein, as a simple story relationship between two people, The Giving Tree reads like a children's book while offering much food for thought. Since its initial publication, scholars, students, and many others have offered a variety of interpretations and critiques of this short yet provocative work, calling into question not only how women, metaphorically men and children, interact, but how we as a global society decide to manage our future." The Giving Tree produced outrage? Is it a divisive book? Reading through it, the tree seems really, really admirable. But looking at it with an eco-critical view, I found that the boy seems foolish. The boy seems to be just a consumer throughout the story. In Gerald Children's paper, Environmental Literature from Eco-Criticism to Epidemiology, the authors write, "One well-known narrative illustrating the alternate and alienated child self can be found in Shel Silverstein's The Giving Tree. As ever argued elsewhere, the story describes a little boy who asks for everything from his tree, beginning with a swing and ending by cutting off its branches and then its trunk. As a prescient vision of human nature relations, the tree stands, and for the all-sacrificing mother, and a heretical patriarchal culture, the narrative constructs humanity as a narcissistic little boy who keeps asking for more and more of nature, until there is nothing left. This narrative endorses roles from humans in nature that are not reciprocal, and moreover not sustainable. Little boy never questions his right to ask for more, nor does he question his identity and relationship for the tree." They're right. The boy does ask for everything from this tree. What I want to do next is I want to read the story. We're going to go through the story together, and I think there's three lessons we can take from it by looking at it with an eco-critical lens. There's a positive lesson at first. The boy shows us we should enjoy nature. Next, the story shows us that it's easy to be a consumer only of nature. And finally, nature will be left however we leave it. And the little boy, and every day the boy would come, and he would gather her leaves and make them into crowns and play king of the forest. He would climb up her trunk and swing from her branches and eat apples. They would play hide and go seek, and when he was tired, he would sleep in her shade. And the boy loved the tree very much, and the tree was happy. Lesson 1, the boy shows us here, enjoy nature. Thus far in the story, the boy is a really good example to us. He enjoys nature. He's having fun in nature. He's getting food from nature. He's getting comfort from nature. And we see he loves the tree. He loves the tree. If you notice what's playing in the background, I filmed the background over 3 days. And what I tried to do is I tried to embody this lesson in this video. This is just me enjoying nature. It's my wife and I going on walks. It's harvesting tomatoes from our garden. It's cooking them. It's enjoying time in the hammock, just enjoying nature. Thus far, the boy is a really good example. Nature is something to enjoy. It's something we should prioritize enjoying. So far, the boy has shown that to us. Going on, we read, but the time went by, and the boy grew older, and the tree was often alone. Then one day the boy came to the tree, and the tree said, "Come, boy, come and climb up my trunk, and swing from my branches, and eat apples, and play in my shade, and be happy." "I'm too big to climb and play," says the boy. "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money." Can you give me some money?" "I'm sorry," said the tree, "but I have no money. I have only leaves and apples. Take my apples, boys, and sell them in the city. Then you will have money, and you will be happy." And the boy climbed up in the tree and gathered apples and carried them away, and the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. Then one day, the boy came back, and the tree shook with joy and said, "Come, boy, climb my trunk, and swing from my branches, and be happy." "I'm too busy to climb trees," said the boy. "I want a house to keep me warm," he said. I want a wife, and I want children, so I need a house. Can you give me a house?" "I have no house," said the tree. "The forest is my house, but you may cut off my branches and build a house, then you will be happy." And so the boy cut off her branches, carried them away to build his house, and the tree was happy. Here's what we're seeing here. We can take from nature, and nature will give. It will keep giving and giving and giving. And this is where we see the boy transformed from this fun, nature-loving child to this consumeristic human who is just consuming and consuming and consuming and consuming. And I think it serves as a warning to us. Don't just be a consumer. The story isn't over yet. The boy eventually comes back and asks for a boat, so that he ends up cutting down the tree and making a boat out of it. And then we read this. And the tree was happy, but not really. Now just imagine if the story ended there. If the story ended with the boy taking everything from the tree. Everything from the tree. And the boy was and the tree was left miserable. Thankfully, the story doesn't end there. After a long time, the boy came back again. "I'm sorry, boy," said the tree. "I have nothing left to give you. My apples are gone. My teeth are too weak for apples," said the boy. "My branches are gone," said the tree. "You cannot swing on them." "I am too old to swing on branches," said the boy. "My trunk is gone," said the tree. "You cannot climb." "I am too tired to climb," said the boy. "I am sorry," sighed the tree. "I wish that I could give you something, but I have nothing left. I'm an old stump. I am sorry." "I don't need very much now," said the boy. "Just a quiet place to sit and rest. I'm very tired." "Well," said the tree, straightening herself up as much as she could. "Well, an old stump is good for sitting and resting. Come, boy, sit down and rest." And the boy did. And the tree was happy. The final lesson that we can take from the giving tree is that nature is going to be the way we leave it. How we treat it, what we make of it, what we do to it, will be left done. Some things can be undone, but in the end of the day, what happened has happened. And I think there's a call to responsibility here at the end of this book. That you and I are responsible with nature. Are responsible to not just be consumers. To, if anything, leave it a little bit better off. To do our part to leave the earth as something that will still be enjoyable to the generations after us. To our kids, to our grandkids, to our great-grandkids, to our great-great-grandkids, and so on and so forth. That you and I have a responsibility to steward this earth well, so we can give them something worthwhile. I think the invitation of the giving tree is enjoy nature and don't just purely consume it. And that is a worthwhile lesson.